Hello and welcome back to another episode of Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy, Playoff Edition. Tomorrow the Cubs start the Wild Card Series hosting the San Diego Padres for the first games back at Wrigley Field, playoff games back at Wrigley Field since 2020 and the first one back with fans since 2018. Um, Remember, the best way to help grow the podcast is to listen to every episode. Like the episode, share the episode with your friends, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Join our Facebook group at Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy. Eli, how pumped are you for this playoff series?
Pumped. I hope they win the first game and lose the second game, so I can go see them Thursday.
Listen, I know the reason you said it,
I
but I'm going to tell you the same thing I told your brother. We don't wish for the Cubs to lose.
understand that and all, but I want to see a playoff game in Wrigley.
I want that for you too, and I want to be going with you guys. I actually got yelled at by my boss today because I'm not. The irony is that I'm not because I don't feel like I could miss work
Yeah.
because I'm busy enough this week. Next week I should be good. But this week, it was just, I don't know how I was going to get it all done. He said, we would have figured it out. Well, sir, it's too late at this point. They've asked their dad. So, it is what it is. I hope he sees this. He's a pretty good dude. I got a good boss. But, so the Kyle Tucker's back, played this weekend. How do you feel about that?
I feel good about it, but I feel like he has to get back into the rhythm,
Agreed.
which I know can be kind of hard for Kyle Tucker, as we saw in the past. But he was also injured.
I was going to say, I don't think that was the same.
Yeah, but
it was a different injury. I'll say that.
Right.
I thought the process looked
good. But the first game back, he did get a hit. You know, it's better than him going 0-4, 0-5.
I mean, he went 1-11.
Hey, better than 0-11.
That's true. He had 2 runs scored, 1 walk, only 2 strikeouts. And I thought that was encouraging, too, the fact that it was only 2 Ks. Because when he was really struggling, he was K'ing more than he generally does. Like I said, I thought the process was good for him when I saw his at-bats this weekend. And I didn't get to see all 3 games live like I generally like to. But I did go back and watch his at-bats because I was very interested in seeing the process that he had to make sure that there wasn't any kind of back to old behaviors, I guess. Because when he was rolling it over a lot, like, he just didn't look the same. And I thought he looked more like when he had broken out after Anaheim, the series in Anaheim. Agree?
Agreed. The good thing about now is he has a day to get back into the rhythm and get in the batting cages and stuff. He didn't really get the chance to do that because we played 12 games in a row or something crazy like that. So now he has a chance to get into the batting cage and figure out.
We had that off day on Monday last week, but he was coming back from Tampa. And so that was, you know what I mean? The trip seems to hopefully kind of paid off a little bit. They say he can run. I don't know if he's running with discomfort. I don't think he is. I think that he probably has some discomfort. But I think that he feels confident enough in what he's doing. And I think that Kyle Tucker probably knows his body as well as anybody and feels comfortable doing what he's doing. Would you agree?
Agreed.
How do we feel about the Kid Horton stuff? Besides the obvious that it really sucks. Just like the way it all went, it was weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to throw him in there. I don't know what stopped him I don't know the backstory behind that. Maybe you do. Maybe you
You
can.
mean that first game,
Yeah,
where he
when
came
he was
out?
going to pitch and call who pitched instead? Was it Colin Ray who pitched instead
No, so
of him?
he pitched those 3 innings, and then Savali came in. No, Soroka came
Oh, okay.
in. In
Oh,
the
yes, that's right.
fourth,
That's
and
right.
I think Savali finished or came in after that fourth inning.
Yeah, Savali came in after
Um,
Soroka and finished the game. I think.
they and there was no news. Like it was just they pulled
Hmm.
him. Even Shadav Shaman, the guy that I couldn't pronounce the other day,
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast with him, and he said he was at that game as a fan with his family and everything, and he was totally shocked that Cade Horton had come out. Like he was like, "There's something's not right," and we all know there wasn't. Now, I think that Horton thought he was okay and had the competitive juices going, knowing like we're a better race, blah, 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 like all that stuff, right? All important stuff. But I'm going to go back to the fact that management has to save you from yourself sometimes. You know what I
Right.
mean? If they knew, and it sounds like they did, that he had some discomfort already before he even started that game, they should have never let him pitch.
Right. At least figure out the diagnosis first.
Yeah, like the fact that we didn't do an MRI until after, but knew that he was hurting, is freaking asinine. And I'm starting to get a little further down than what I wanted to. I'm frustrated with the whole thing, and there's a whole other rabbit hole that we'll talk about later in the offseason because I think there's a rabbit hole to go down.
Yep.
So, all that. Do you have anything else about the Cade Horton injury?
No, besides, I hope he heals fast.
Yes. So, I mean, it's possible that he comes back for Game 5 of the NLDS if the Cubs can
Mhm.
get there. I think that's crazy. I mean, that's a winner take all game if they got to that. That's like pitching a Game 7. You know what I mean? And after
Right.
not pitching, although I guess at that point it's not like he would have missed a ton of games. I don't know. I guess it would have to depend on how he. I, here's my problem: is I don't trust what they say. I know I'm starting to go down that rabbit hole again, but I don't. I don't trust what they say.
The Cubs team conspiracy theories.
The St. Louis Cardinals series review. Cubs swept the series, was fantastic against the Cardinals. Hate the Cardinals, but hate the Brewers more. Cardinals were outscored by 17, 21-4 in that series. That was fantastic. The offense so much better.
Oh yeah.
Siri thinks I'm talking to her. Shut up, Siri. Seiya, Michael Bush, and PCA all got hot in the last 2 series. OPS for Ian Happ was 855 this last week, not just the series. Michael Bush, 2,042. The dude is averaging a double over the past week. That's awesome. PCA, a 963. Seiya Suzuki, 1,381. And Matt Shaw has come back on again and has an OPS of 957. Fantastic series. I want to say this. Ollie Marmol, I've never been a huge fan of. But I'm
Mhm.
even less of a fan now. That dude is Bush League for walking Michael Bush when he had a chance to get the cycle. I don't
Disciple.
care that they wanted to win that game. They were down by 4. It's not like they were within a save, like you know what I mean. And yes, the tying run came up in that inning, but they never were really all that close. And I still think it was Bush League to walk him, knowing that he had a chance at the cycle. Do you?
Right.
Or am
I
I just
agree.
being too bitter and too much of a homer?
No, 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 no,
Because
no. Not being bitter
I
at
can get
all.
that way sometimes.
Everybody can.
For sure. For sure. The preview for the Padres. Over the last 10, the San Diego Padres are 7-3. they have come on quite a bit as well offensively. They've been feeling it pretty good down the stretch. They had a really good um, down the stretch. They just played well. You know what I mean? Um,
Right.
we had said that the Cubs needed to just take care of business because, and then like at least win one to force the Padres to sweep. Guess what they did? They also swept. So it's a good thing they won more than one because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise we'd be going to San Diego and you wouldn't be going in a game on Thursday
Nope.
or a
Make me
possible game
upset.
on Thursday. The Padres are 38-43 on the season in road games though, and they went 17-17 on the road since the All Star break. I think that's important to note that they played a little better on the road in the second half, but still, they're not nearly as good as they are when they're at home. So it's huge that we got home field advantage for the wild card series. Expected starters for the week are as follows. On Tuesday, we got Nick Pivetta versus Matthew Boyd. I love that. I love that Boyd is starting game one if Cade could not. So, and not so much because I think that Boyd is better primed for it than Shota. I just one Boyd has a little more rest because he started before Shota did in that series against the Mets, and so to me that makes sense. And I think that Boyd seemed to right the ship a little bit against the Mets. Now I'll say this: it seems to me, and I don't have a whole lot of data to back me up on this. I can go look for it, but at this point, the podcast we're doing it now, and maybe I should have, and I'm sorry I didn't. But it seems to me that whenever Shota gets blown up, he comes back with a really good start the next start.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's really consistent at throwing those home runs.
No
It's
doubt.
it's almost it's almost
It's
unbelievable.
it's ridiculous. And it's
And
concerning.
I mean, that has to stop for this postseason.
I sure hope it does. I
It's
sure hope
got
it
to
does.
stop.
But the Cubs have not named a starter outside of game one. The Padres have Dylan Cease going in game two on Wednesday, and on Thursday they would have Yu Darvish if necessary. My question to you is, and I'll tell you my thoughts after this: who should start game two, and who should start game three?
If we win game one, I'd be okay with starting Shota game two.
So you think we should wait until see what happens in game one?
Yes. And then
I don't
I'd finish
disagree.
off with Colin Ray.
So you said if we win game one, Shota should pitch game two,
Yes.
and then you
Just
would
due
do
to how
Colin
he's been
Ray
playing lately. Colin
instead of
Ray,
J-Mo.
if it's tied. You know, now that you got me thinking. Now that you got me thinking here. If we lose game one, have JMO pitch game two. And if JMO loses, still pitch Colin Ray game three, and then maybe have Shota start the next series.
I don't think there's any chance in hell they do.
You don't think so?
No. So like it or not, I know that Shota has struggled here down the stretch, but
Right.
Shota is at the very least one of the top two remaining starters in the rotation. I I get the recent results. Don't necessarily agree with that, but he's earned to be one of those starters.
I
He
can
just
look
has.
both ways at it.
Over the
I
last
can
couple of
look both
years,
ways.
Shota Imanaga has earned to be one of the starters in this series.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
I mean, last year he was magnificent, so.
I mean, he's had really good starts this year. And
Right.
one of the things that makes Shota so good and impressive is that even when he kind of does his little blow up with, like, what happened against the Mets was rare, even for this year, where he gave up 8 runs. Um, like he normally limits the damage, which is what makes him so good, and he keeps the game in reach. most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I think. I think that Boyd's. I mean, obviously, I was hoping Boyd would start game one, and I'm glad he is. And if they win game one, I think that they should throw Jamison Tyone in game two. And the reason I picked JMO over Colin Ray is JMO's pitched really well since he's come back from his most recent injury as well. He hasn't pitched quite as well as Colin, but Colin generally doesn't have as long as stretches where he's really dominant and good.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would say his last two starts are as dominant and good as we've ever seen him pitch in a Cubs uniform. But he generally regresses faster than Jameson does.
Right.
And it's because he's just not. I don't want to disparage the guy because I think what Colin Ray has done this year has been incredibly impressive and incredibly underappreciated.
I
But
think he's the unsung hero this year, for sure.
I'm torn on that, but for sure on the pitching staff. And I'm saying that because I don't think that Brad Keller's unsung anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that he gets a whole lot of notoriety for what he does, and he should. Where Colin, I don't think gets as much as he should, still.
Right.
But Colin is also comfortable coming out of the bullpen. Jameson Tyon's never done it. So I think you can stack, even though there are two righties, you can stack Colin on top of JMO if it's needed. Easier. And you can stack Aaron Savali or Colin on top of either of the other two if it's needed. I think all of them are going to have short leashes for this series. In fact, I would say that of the three, JMO might have the longest leash.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they value him more or anything, but I think he's just had a more consistent recent streak of getting out of things and pitching well overall. So, I'm really excited. Boyd's starting game one. If he wins that game, If we win game one, I love the idea of pitching JMO 2. But if we lose, I think we should pitch Shota 2. Because we got to have that game. And it's not that I trust Shota more than JMO, but Shota has a longer track.
Yeah.
Neither one we've seen a ton in the postseason. Shota we've never seen in the postseason. But I also think that he's a big reason why we're where we are. And so he needs to be able to start one of these games. But I would love to keep him for game 3 if necessary. Or to piggyback off what you said, for JMO to win game 2 after Boyd wins game 2, or the Cubs win those two games that they started. And then Shota can go game 1 in the NLDS. That's what I ultimately hope for. And then Colin comes back and is the 4th starter in the NLDS as well.
I like. But the only problem.
That's my thoughts.
The only issue I have, I just feel like Padres hit lefties pretty well too.
No, they don't.
They don't?
No, let me give you real quick.
Did
stats.
you get those stats? I just know their big hitters are righties, so.
So one of them is now just Machado at this point. The I guess Tatis. The Padres have been a little under middle of the road in games runs per game this year, ranking 18th in the major with 4.33 runs per game. They are 23rd in the league with 4.17 runs per game while on the road. The Padres have struggled more against lefties over the season, and the Cubs will likely throw Matthew Boyd and Shota Imanaga in the series. For the season, the Padres have a 688 OPS and a 691 OPS on the road against left-handers. Okay. Both are ranked 19th in the league. Against righties, they have a 719 OPS for the season and on the road a 7.18, good for 16th and 15th respectively. So it's not a huge discrepancy, but it is a discrepancy.
Well, yeah, in that case, go ahead and start Shota game 2.
Machado is the only one who has consistently hit lefties well this year. That's still playing for the team this for this series. Ramon Laureano, who they had picked up on the trade deadline, has crushed lefties since they got him and for the year, but he's injured. He's out for this series. Now, I'm not saying like Tatis could get hot. I don't know. But I think it neutralizes their lefties who are really good as well. And they have more lefties than righties who are really good. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that this sets up well for us, especially being at home with the lefties. The Cubs have had their ups and downs with the pitching staff, but over the course of the season is much better than expected. The Cubs are tied for 8th overall with team ERA at 3.75. The Padres have one of the best pitching staffs in the majors all year long, and they are now 3rd overall in team ERA this season with a 3.57. On the road, that has gone down to 3.96, which is ranked 14th. Their bullpen is one of the best bullpens in the game, especially after acquiring Mason Miller at their trade deadline. So here's the other part. If the Cubs are going to get to the Padres, they have to do it early, and they have to do it against the rotation. I'm not saying they can't against the bullpen, but it's going to be so much easier to do it against the bullpen or the starting staff than it is the bullpen.
I feel like the Cubs usually do hit better off the starters anyways.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, obviously against Pavita, it's going to be a little bit harder. But I think the Cubbies can do it.
So, before I go to our hitter and pitcher of the week and then close it out, hopefully we will see you all Wednesday or Thursday. And if it's Thursday, I will probably see you. Eli will be coming home after that because he will be at the game.
Maybe.
Although, depending on what time the game's over, I'll wait for him and we can do it together.
Or if they even play on Thursday.
Hopefully we can do this on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And do another episode celebrating the. Now I know hopefully that crushes you a little bit, but hopefully we can celebrate the wild card win and set up for the NLDS. Our hitters of the week were Michael Busch, easy selection, and an OPS of 2,042, WRC plus of, remember, 100 is the average hitter in the league for the week. He had a WRC plus of 420. 120. He had 4 home runs, 3 doubles, and 1 triple, falling just short of a cycle thanks to Busch League tactics from Ollie Marmol. Did I already talk about that?
No.
Colin Ray was our pitcher of the week. That dude has been brilliant his last few outings and absolutely huge for the Cubs all season.
Yeah. Only allowed 6 hits, 18 strikeouts, only walked 1 batter, which is really impressive. I mean,
especially
I don't
for
care
him.
who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he only 1 earned run with only 12.2 innings pitched. That's nuts. That's crazy.
Especially for him, because he's not a strikeout pitcher, but man, he has been lately.
Yes, he has.
Don't forget to join our Facebook group at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy. Leave some posts or comments about what you thought about today's episode or what you'd like to hear about in future episodes. However you subscribe, make sure to subscribe and like and subscribe, to Clark and Addison Born Into the Ivy so you don't miss out on any more episodes. Also, if you feel so inclined, please make sure to leave a 5-star review and leave us some comments. Have a great day, and let's go Cubs.
Go Cubbies.